earlier, they source products from countries like China and like I mean portals like AliExpress, right? And then they sell it to country in the states, or say other countries like Canada and European countries, or say for that matter in UK, right? Now, with the current condition that that is there in the world, COVID and all this, because of that, I'm sure the deliveries and everything one cannot expect the time that will be taken to deliver a product and everything, right? So in that case, like, what do you think, like, how will it impact or affect drop shipping? And do you think, like, people can still rely on drop shipping as a business if they are planning, if they are sourcing their product from countries like China, or say portals like AliExpress? Like, what do you think, how COVID will impact it? And if people still wants to get into dropshipping, how should they approach it, considering COVID-19 or say any other pandemic that can be there in future?
Uh, Actually, it's been a long time. I tell people not to dropship from China
Mm-hmm.
because it's a very far country, and because it's very very far country, and obviously the shipping is longer.
Mm-hmm.
And usually, if you source, like I'm in France, and if I source products from a local supplier,
Mm-hmm.
especially if the product is made in France, I can
Right,
use the made in France in my marketing,
right,
which is
right.
a huge advantage. I
Oh,
can double my price easily.
right.
And on the same market, if I dropship from China, my
Mm-hmm.
price will be 2 times lower because it's made in China and I
Right.
try to not say it.
Uh-huh.
And plus, I will have problems with the shipping times.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I can have troubles with the quality or stuff like that.
Absolutely. Uh-huh.
But another reason I advise people not to dropship or actually do business with China at the beginning
Mm-hmm.
is because when you do business with China, as I told you, I do and I did a lot of import export
Uh-huh.
from and to China. China is a very, very, very different culture.
Right.
And
Uh-huh.
the way you do business in China, especially as a foreigner, is very different from the way we do in Europe or in America or even in India, I guess. I don't really know India,
Yeah.
sorry.
Uh-huh. No problem. Yeah.
So if you don't know the culture
Mm-hmm.
there, it's just very easy to get you scammed.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
'Cause sometimes you want to sign the papers and everything to be sure you won't get scammed. But in
Right.
China, the papers,
Uh-huh.
they have no value at all.
Okay.
Someone can steal you $1 million. No one will give a shit about it. The guy
Yeah.
will just leave with your $1 million, even if you have all the papers in the world,
Uh-huh.
because there it's the way it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, I mean, that's a good point that, like, initially, if you're just starting off, it's better to source from local suppliers or people whom you can trust, right? Like with
Right.
China, there are a couple of points that you mentioned. One is definitely the distance part, and that makes predictability on the delivery side a bit tough. But then the second part, which is the most important one, which is like, unless you find a good supplier, it is really tough to rely on someone, and then it's tough, right? So in that case, like, I mean, so like, let's say if someone wants to still start, and if China is not the option, right? So local suppliers are the one. Then apart from that, what all, say, let's say if someone has to look at other countries or other places, right? So what all places do you think are good alternatives to countries like China, or say any other country who is like very well known for drop shipping businesses?
Actually, as always, it
Uh-huh.
all depends on your niche.
Okay.
Like I have a niche I wanted to get into not very long ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's people who love aquarium
Mm-hmm.
fish,
Uh-huh.
and the best stuff for aquarium equipment is from Japan.
Uh-huh.
So obviously you won't buy from China because everyone in the aquarium hobby knows Chinese stuff is
Right.
they just won't use it
Yeah,
because
yeah.
if the stuff fail, it kill all of their fishes and corals and everything, which
Uh-huh.
sometimes are worth 5 figures.
Mm-hmm. Right, right.
So you won't you don't want that.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
you
Yeah.
must drop ship from Japan
Uh-huh.
for those countries for those materials. And if you're into luxury makeup, South Korea, for example, has
Mm-hmm.
amazing brands. So it
Mm-hmm.
all depends on your niche. If
Right.
I always advise against dropshipping just random cheap products
Uh-huh.
which are findable in China.
Right.
But it's not a good dropshipping business because the margins is not very high. So when you have, like I said, 10 or 20% margin, if your
Mm-hmm.
final product is 10 or even $20,
Uh-huh.
it's just $1 or $2
One, two
to
dollars. Right.
pay to
Yeah.
pay you,
Uh-huh.
to pay the taxes, to pay the every
And
expenses you have,
yeah. Right.
advertising.
Right.
It's not enough.
It is not
So
enough.
if you want to start, you need at the very least $40 to $60
Mm-hmm.
final price,
Uh-huh.
and you have to buy a cheap enough price
To make
to have a
make the
decent
money. Yeah.
profit margin.
Right. Perfect. Makes sense. Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah. That's a good
Depends.
point. That's a good point. That like I mean, you just can't decide a country first and then go for the product. I mean, actually it's a better way to first decide on the product and then see which country is the best place to get the products from. So yeah, that's a
Actually, not the products. You need to find the niche.
niche, right? Right.
Because if you find the product and you have success with it,
Mm-hmm.
just let's say a competitor make a better, these
Mm-hmm.
products makes it better than you.
Mm-hmm.
So your business is lost.
Right.
But
Right.
if your store is about the whole niche,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it doesn't depend on one product. Because
Uh-huh.
having a one product store
Uh-huh.
mean if you are the best or the cheapest, the one the people want to buy, it's fine.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But
Right.
it never lasts very long.
Mm-hmm.
So you always have to get prepared for the
Right.
next move.
Right. Right.
Otherwise, you won't stay long. You just take a few months at the very most,
Makes
and
sense.
it's a lot of work just for a few months.
Right, right. I totally agree. Yeah.